Well, how's it going, Kingsman? Welcome back to another Napoleonic Total War 3 battle. Today we have a clan battle on the historical map of Stockach. Now this is going to be between the Napoleonics and the RC clan. This one is roughly about a month old. I missed this little, gold nugget of a replay. And going back, I was like, man, I really need to find a better system for my replays, because I have no idea sometimes, unless I go watch my video, if I've recorded it. So, I don't worry, I'm getting a system, I'm getting more professional at it, and also, hopefully, once again, being more consistent. Summer's usually a little busier. Winter, probably more consistent with videos. But anyway, let's go over the points really fast here. So, the 9-point Azuro for the... I believe this is the RC clan playing as the Imperial. You have the 9-point Azuro, and he's going to be followed up by a 6-point Bernadotte. You have a Cav Corps, 12-point Murat, and 11-point Lons. Now, going up against them is going to be 3 Russian armies. You have a 9, 12, and another 9, plus a Saxon 8-pointer. Now, I don't know which Russian army this is, but they are obviously pushing quite aggressively towards this LOC cluster, this town right here. Cavalry as well starting to push up. Now the Saxon player is on the far flank here. Now he's obviously moving his army forward. The other Russian armies, one here and one way back here. So you have a potential for Azuro and Bernadotte, who is quickly, like I said, following up, very quickly getting over there, has a lot of Bolcheviers, a lot of skirms. They're about to maybe get hit by 2 pointers, could potentially be 2 9-pointers, could be a 12 and a 9. So they're going to have to make some decisions pretty quick here. Horse artillery, and just all the Russian artillery is shelling them from multiple angles here. Look at this. Ooh, speaking of, oh my gosh. Brutal. Quite brutal. More and more Russians pushing across. Azuro may actually be getting flanked pretty soon here. Be very, very cautious. More cavalry. Ooh, Saxon even has some cavalry over here, issuing forward here. It's got some cuirassiers, some heavy cav. France is setting up some of their infantry on this hill as well. We do have an artillery piece, an 8-pounder. Beautiful position to command the surrounding area. However, a lot of cavalry focusing here. I hope they can push something over to defend their artillery piece. Maybe some squarables, because that artillery piece is good as dead if they notice it. It's hidden right now, so it's safe. But I'd be a little concerned. It does look like France is actually pulling out of the town. Yeah, they are. You can see they have all their light infantry retreating. Probably just because they're about to get surrounded here by 2 Russian armies. Plus Saxony creeping in on the flank. You see a lot of scouting by the coalition at this point in time. Oh, artillery got sniped. Looks like some Saxon artillery piece got sniped here. Looks like we have some cavalry as well. Hussars charging some Saxon cav, ambushing them here. And then we have, ooh, Saxony pushing forward. This artillery piece is firing now, but they are in danger. Yikes. If Saxony notices this, these Chevaliers are just going to make mincemeat. We have infantry pushing forward here. We're going to get just absolutely battered down. This artillery piece is in danger here. France getting pushed extremely hard here on the flank. More cavalry, though, from Murat going to rush forward. It's like Murat's even putting pressure on this Russian center. Artillery piece does break. This infantry looks like they're a little bit in danger. Some squarables pushing forward as well. But you can see France also, Azuro has pushed out of the town here. He is not going to try to hold that. The high ground commands a lot of the territory around it, so they can just hold this hill. They can push back into town at their leisure. It's like Murat and Bernadotte here going to push up to defend Azuro. And yeah, it looks like France does lose some infantry and artillery. Huge mass of cavalry, though. Look at the Cav Corps. The Cav Corps looks gorgeous. So much cav, and once they can disperse it around the armies to defend, they will be doing very well, because I've seen quite a heavy coalition cav presence so far here. Not the thing France wants. They want to have that cav dominance. They don't want to be defensive the entire time with their armies. Now, obviously, Lons may be trying to catch the Saxon player out. He is an 11-pointer going up against this 8-pointer. He could do it. Now he has to be able to catch him. The beautiful thing about these cores, the 1799 cores, which is what's being played here, France has a lot of mobility. L5, L6, just fast, lightning, quick troops. So they can hopefully use that to their advantage and strike on the slower moving Russians and Saxon troops. It doesn't look like Yojuro is pushing back up here. There is a lot of coalition artillery. It's probably going to be sitting up on these hills. I like the light infantry screen that Bernadotte has ready to deploy. This is a pain for the coalition to deal with. You talk about being able to support themselves very well. That's 6 skirms. Now, if you're going to go for skirms, you can't just do 1 or 2. You have to do at least 4. 4 to 6, honestly. Just commit to it, you know? Alright, now we may have a cav engagement, potentially, as Murat is going to be getting very aggressive. He's probably going to start pushing back. We will see the mettle of this coalition army pretty quick here. If they stand their ground as Murat pushes forward, his reserves of cavalry become very obvious very quickly. What is happening? Artillery did come back. Oh, here we go. They did stand their ground. Dragoons from Murat breaking some Guisards, looks like, of Russia. As Russia's now going to call the retreat here. Murat getting very aggressive. We're talking lots of Dragoons here. This is a fun Murat to play. It's not just a bunch of crosshairs. It's like a light cavalry, Dragoons. Ooh, he's going full on sending it, even hitting some Garde du Corps, looks like, from Saxony. And infantry in the mix. Now there's a counter charge by some more heavies from Saxony. Maybe they're just trying to inflict as much of a loss as they can.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Skirmishers get broken. Saxony's in trouble here. As looks like Murat's taking some losses, but a lot of infantry from Saxony just brutally getting run down. That is already 3 units from the Saxon line. So maybe this paid off. I don't know. That's a lot of Saxon cavalry here. And more. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of cavalry from the coalition. Ooh, this is going to be a cav-heavy replay. I can already sense it. I love it. Chevalier is now charging down to protect the flank. As this is turning into a bit of a cav-heavy fight in the center. But we do have Saxon infantry pushing forward here now. And we do have Lon still. He is already on the flank. What did I say? You know, they're very fast-moving army. Already catching up to Saxony. Now over on this side, looks like they may just try to delay the Russians with some screens from Bernadotte and push most of the reserves and go for the Saxon-Russian center here, or even flank at this point, and hope that Russia doesn't divert troops. Like I said, they can utilize speed that the coalition does not have, and that's going to be beneficial. You know, they can do that. The coalition probably's benefit is their masses of infantry. It's slower moving, but just, it's like a giant versus a regular sized person. You know, the giants can be slower moving but pack more of a punch when they hit. And the French are like that nimble, spry guy that just like dances around the ring and then smacks them when they're not looking. Obviously the sound is not totally fixed. It is the sound thingy, but hopefully it doesn't screw it up. We have to reinstall it. Not sure if there's more Napoleon Total War updates. Here we go. Lons is making their push. Murat is there to support him. A lot of grenadiers backed up by some larger units of infantry. 130 men. That's a very perfect size. Not to, like, you know, be able to attack without worrying about losing half the men just with original charge. So we have a potential cav clash here. Some hussars gonna charge in. Looks like Russia wasn't paying attention on this side. And France may get an easy win here. And the skirm screen is going to start pushing forward here. We do have Azuro pushing forward some chasseur cheval. Let's see if they can get to that artillery piece. Oh, it's a big collision right at the guns. And Russia may have saved their artillery piece, but barely saved it. And here we go, France going for the LOC, pushing forward units to kind of support that flank. Russia getting beaten back as well. And, you know, the coalition is now across this river. This river is now the border of the line being drawn by both sides here. However, we do have Bernadotte kind of pushing across. Just a small screen of, you know, some hussars with some voltigeurs. Russia does not seem interested in taking this fight. In fact, I think they know exactly what the French are planning. And they must know that the massive push is happening over here because you are seeing a huge shift in reserves from Russia going more towards the center line. They do have a strong defensive position, so I'll be interested to see how France reacts to this. The artillery setting up on the heights. Lannes maybe taking this LOC, but then he's obviously fallen back. Maybe they'll push around to the flank.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
You'll see pretty quick here. But Russia does control the town at the moment. Ooh. Howitzers are not going to make life easy for this French army, but look at this reserve line stack, just ready to go. And at this point, we have no idea where the mass of Russia is. It's probably hiding behind a hill. But we don't truly know. It's probably, if I were to guess, it's just sitting back here and up on this high ground. Just waiting to advance. Maybe there's a reserve sitting over here to react. I hope. These guys are hidden, so France is definitely... I mean, these guys are not, so... Wait, they are. No, they're not. I'm sure the coalition is scouting this side. They have to be. But yeah, it's kind of confusing as to where the coalition is. Now, the French are not waiting to see if they have to find that out first. They're just going to make a push in one area. Lannes is a very powerful high point faction here in these cores. And they usually, if they get a little support, they can make the battle go the way they want. Obviously, unless they hit all of the factions of the other team. Saxony is, if they're on this flank, they are badly weakened. That's definitely where Lannes should be pushing here. We do have Bernadotte, who is pushing across on the far right flank for the French. He's got some skirmishers, some infantry following it up. Maybe gonna try to take this high ground and start flanking the coalition. Coalition obviously not going to give up this LOC, any of these LOCs in this town without a fight. And both sides seem to have a very good position. High ground on both sides. The artillery shells just whistling overhead. Alright, so you know that there's an LOC that is taken by the coalition. They're shooting at Murat's cav. So Lannes is probably going to detach some units to go and take it, secure their flank, so then they can keep pushing. Murat still scouting, just trying to see, you can see Saxony's trying to mirror them, trying to push cavalry at least, something to at least contest any river crossing that'll be made on the far flank. The center's still quite quiet. However, we may have Juro pushing over as Bernadotte seems to have gotten, you know, a potential foothold on the high ground, flanking the town. But Russia does have reserves ready, and he may be starting to push them forward. Yep, we have some more infantry pushing up. Not a lot of resistance yet from the coalition, but like I said, they may be just barely showing their hand. Right now it's just some skirmishers, not a lot of French infantry visible. Nothing the coalition can't handle at the moment. We will see what a Juro does. Oh, artillery got broken. What if they got sniped? Or they were limbering up or something. Alright, so we do have Russia contesting this LOC. And we have Lons looking for a gap in the armor. Yeah, we're starting to see some more Russians. Yeah, they definitely are ready to react to that flank. Over on this side, this is looking a little bit more of a battle now.
We have taken a building, sir.
And it looks like they did take LOC from the Russians. And Russia looks like they're just shifting up troops. They're not falling back too much. It'd be nice if they had some troops in the woods. Even artillery sitting up here will be crucial. Now, they can set up artillery right here and fall back across this valley if they wanted to. Obviously, that would make the town a little more exposed to multiple attacks from different sides. And they probably don't exactly want that to happen. Not an ideal situation for them. We do see more from Lons now. You see he's going to push across that river. Russia making their positions aware now by firing some shots at that cavalry. We do have Saxony engaging Murat in a cav fight. And it is crucial for the coalition to keep cav dominance. The moment that Murat can roll around them, it is over. Now, they do have plenty of cavalry. They do not command this high ground, so Lons can take this and then decide the next move from there. Nothing advancing too much in the center. Juro does have some troops kind of spread out. And, yeah, France and the Saxony are going to fall back. More Russian troops. Look at this. So much sitting back here. Yep, like I had predicted, a lot of troops are sitting right here. Oh, some guard ready to react. And the nice thing is the coalition has some high ground for themselves if this flank does start caving in. They can react. They have a road that they can quickly shuffle troops around as needed. But here comes Lons. He is pushing quite aggressively, and Juro is pushing in coordination with him so they can start hitting from two directions at once. Over on this side, ooh, we got a lot of cavalry. Oh yeah, looks like the French seem pretty prepared for that attack. Still, Bernadotte's going to have to play it a little cautiously. There's a lot of heavy cav with infantry, so he's got to be careful. More infantry in the town still. Oh, did I miss the juicy bits here? It's like, yep, Lons going for a melee. Got cavalry charging in the back as well. Man. And the coalition are reacting to it. They're going to reform their second line. We do have Murat pushing his cav corps on the flank here. Russia is going to have to be very defensive with their dragoons. And like I said, lawns can take their time. They can push, but then they can always fall back into the tree line. Kind of be cautious in that direction. Bernadotte falling back to the high ground. Russia setting up some horse artillery. And those are they're going to maybe try to set the momentum of this fight. More from Ajuro. Hopefully I haven't been pushing this the whole time. He has some troops in the center. He can always push into the town as Russia gets very focused on this flank. But let's not miss the nitty-gritty details of this flanking fight. Lon's taking a small fallback position, maybe waiting for Murat to make some flanking efforts here. Distract this coalition. Still, you notice the French are setting momentum here on this fight. They are definitely setting the course of the battle. It looks like Lons is starting to spread his lines out a little bit more so he can cover more ground. Maybe not as much concentrated if he has a lot of cavalry to support him, but Russia looks like they have quite a hefty reserve line. You've got the skirm screen here with more line of infantry behind. I'm curious if France is going to push into this town now. With Russia fighting in two directions at once, they could probably take advantage of the multitasking. Maybe they can. You know, maybe this is two Russian armies, and one's just going to deal with them, or Russians actually falling back to this side. It's hard to tell where Russia's most concerned. You know, it's hard to tell. Are they concerned about this flank? Are they concerned about by the town? What about their center? Not a lot happening in the center. It's like they're just biding their time, waiting for the perfect moment. It does look like yeah, Bernadotte is pushing a little bit on this flank, but still got the screen in the center. So it's kind of for being such an aggressive first play, things are slowing down. Now over here they seem to be in full tilt. Alright guys, we're back. He crashed, which, you know, that should be expected at some point. Just gotta get my bearings again where we were at. I do believe, yeah, we were waiting for a potential Lons push with Murat. Looks like more and more troops are being shuffled forward, but he is starting to advance just slowly but surely. Just waiting for those doors to seal shut. Now, Bernadotte obviously is waging a pretty fierce fight right here. It's pretty critical, probably, to their success that they win this. I guess time will tell if it actually is a success. Russia is standing their ground. They do have some artillery support and some cavalry support, so... we'll see what Bernadotte ends up doing. Now, obviously, we do have Ajuro still inching forward here on the flank. Russia has a lot of reserves in the town. And I like that the coalition is putting to use, or the Imperials are putting to use the greatest of strategies, which is where the enemy artillery is, don't beat. For the most part, obviously. They have a bunch of guns right here. Notice how they're not in this area anymore. They are on the flanks, on either side. That's where they're pushing. And, man, it does look like the coalition is just... they're dealing with a huge front now. This entire front spans a couple miles. And the coalition is being forced to deal with the entirety of that front. Now, obviously, this little combat here is probably not even a mile long. Maybe more, I don't know. Nah, it's not. That's not. So these skirms are going to start racking up the kills over time. This is their specialty, just sitting in the front lines, just taking out the enemy. Not giving them a break, staying out of range almost. Lon's still pushing more and more troops. Look at this. He's all the way over here now. So he is really pushing the lines. I mean, he can afford to do this with Murat's cav to support him. He doesn't need to have a reserve to be able to throw up. He just needs a line with cavalry to be able to rush forward and to support his position. I'm surprised the skirmisher hasn't been ended yet by some cavalry.
We have taken a building, sir.
From the church steeple, this would be quite the sight to see. That's where I'd probably be. I'd be up here. There's no bullets or anything. Maybe a cannonball could randomly crash into you. But this is where it'd be at. You can see everything. You know, you get a little telescope. You can see the fighting happening way over there. You can even see gun crews. You can see the French position. Honestly, this is where Russia would probably want to have, you know, troops, or the general even, to be able to observe and be able to see, you know, where the French are pushing. It does look like Bernadotte is pushing back into the woods. I wouldn't be surprised if Russia does not pursue, though. That is quite the defensive position now. They do seem to be getting aggressive here in the town. Ooh, we have some infantry maybe. But immediately the French pull back. Like, almost immediately. Look at that. Just Russia gets too close, they run away. But here we go. Yeah, the coalition are spread a little too thin, I think, right over here. It's just going to take France pushing forward with just brute force in one area. I mean, you just look at this French presence on the flank. Just gives you a good idea of, I feel like the French definitely have the massive advantage at this point. It looks like we have some Hussars who are going to start it off. Going at some Chevaliers. Or not. This square was formed. But here we go. Lon's pushing forward his lines. Russia gonna have to react. They have troops here. They're probably gonna have to start peeling them off, and then Ajuro can just push forward his line pressure them from 2 directions at once. And we do have cavalry going to charge in against Lanza's troops. These guys cannot form square. Oh, what a beautiful charge by Russia. Maybe he's just buying time here, and honestly, we have Dragoons now that can counter-charge. Over here you can see Russia pushing forward, the skirm screen just sitting on the flank, just peppering them down. Slow grinding fight here. Russia going again, and this time looks like they have heavy cavalry.
Our men are running, sir.
And they break and they go straight for Murat's cavalry in the back lines, not even hesitating here. Russia going for the counterattack here. Infantry going pouring down the hill with more and more Russian cavalry. What a beautiful charge here. Murat is going to react, but still, Lanz is in trouble here. He has lost significant momentum in this initial attack that he had going. You see Russia took full advantage, even charging downhill with the line infantry. The Dragoons already basically catching infantry in melee, and all Lanz is lost. His whole center is almost entirely broken. Now, at the same time, Murat's going to start putting pressure on the Russians' flank as well. Russia has a huge reserve they're now going to throw forward here. This Russian cavalry doing an incredible amount of damage over a very short time. More Russians charge down the hill. Man, Lanz just... they lost big. That Russian guard now going to be met with some grenadiers and some hussars. What a successful attack by Russia. Now we do have the same time, probably because the flank over here doesn't seem to go too well for the French. We have an attack going in for the town. Quite significant scale here.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Skirm stream with some infantry, maybe. But the town, definitely, they're charging in here. Let's see what these grenadiers can do. The first bayonet charge going to the flank of this Russian line. Beautifully executed, totally catch them off guard. Russia pulling out of the town, it looks like. And over on this side, France entirely broken. Russia going to pull back. They inflicted some pretty heavy casualties on France.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Now Russia is going to garrison this LOC and then start pulling back a little bit here. Over on this side, Bernadotte can really start pressuring. I don't think the Russians are actually as prepared for this attack as they should be. Especially with them pulling back. France hot on their heels. And this town center is probably going to be it's probably going to showcase some pretty fierce fighting. As Russia's going to counter the charge with the bayonet. Things are quieted down over here. Russia even shifting troops over to this side. Don't forget, Lanz still has a flank here, though. He definitely can employ that. We do have... ooh. Cavalry and infantry here. Looks like Russia's taking some losses as Bernadotte's pushing forward just the skirms and cavalry. And then a solid center attack as well. But here we go. Russia going in for the counter charge here. Looks like Ajuro's taken that melee quite well. He has taken one loss, though, with some light infantry, so, you know, not the greatest in melee. Looks like he may actually hold this. They hold the center for now, but looks like more Russian guard even pushing forward. Line infantry as well, pouring in a volley. His morale not looking the greatest. Let's see if he can get a rally up in time. You have a lot of reinforcements from the Russians pouring down the hill. Still, France has a decent army left. And Bernadotte seems to be doing quite well here. You can see a lot of Russians breaking, even some cavalry from Murat just in the back lines, running down some Russian cavalry. This center square fight has, for now, been beaten back. Russia held their ground beautifully. Still a significant force here in the center. These guys could easily start advancing lines, maybe resting up some of his troops, and then he may actually restart the fight here as Russia probably shifted a lot of troops over to deal with this flank. So we have some melee here. And cavalry as well. What a coordinated assault here, just breaking apart this flank. We do have, the Chevaliers charging in. Not sure if this is a square from Bernadotte, but either way, that's kind of running through that French infantry, in my opinion. Saxony's just ignoring this line infantry right here.
We've taken a building, sir.
It's a little rough. Like Russia's going on a counterattack here on this flank, at the same time pushing over to try to regain momentum. Not giving up hope, guys. I'm not giving up hope that the coalition can still, or the Imperials can still win this. It's not looking too amazing at the moment, just the cav dominance that the coalition have on the field. Lon still has a sneaky flank here, guys. And there's a lot more of Murat's cavalry in these back lines that can easily start wreaking havoc on the coalition. Bernadotte seems to be holding this wood. So Cuirassiers seem to be running amok here. Probably going to get just gunned down and charged, surrounded. And, yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I think the majority of the Russian force still in this town. I believe that is Stockach. Yeah, the town of Stockach. A Russian presence trying to take this small LOC, but Juro not letting that happen very easily. Holding quite strong. And we have Murat now spilling over the flank. And Russia may actually be in trouble here. Look at this. Getting flanked here. This battle's been a little bit just scattered, which is kind of making it a little bit feel like it's a little slower. Just the terrain making it a little more or less difficult for the armies to kind of connect together to fight. They're always turning into these scattered engagements that don't just cause ripples through the entirety of the battle. They're just so scattered, which actually can be helpful, especially for the French when they took that heavy loss. It didn't matter. Wow, look at this massive battery. Man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've totally fixed my sound. You have to do another patch, I guess. We do have Murat running around in the back lines. He's starting to break cavalry that's probably already still tired from the engagements from earlier. I'll be curious after it's over to see the results, see how many troops the French versus the Russians had. That would feel like the Russians outnumbered them. But it looks like Russia is pushing in a counterattack here. French are kind of marshalling whatever forces they have to kind of take this attack. Honestly, Murat is being a menace all to themselves. We probably should have waited a second before charging in. Waited for the light tree to get up. Oh no! Oh man. Still, they are about to surround this force. You see Lance's troops here, Ajurat's troops here. He's about to pour in a volley on the rear of the back lines of this Russian line. And this attack seems to be formulating for Russia quite well, pushing out using this road. Let's see how this attack formulates though. You know, like this is looking pretty promising here. Goon's now going to charge in. Oh, the revenge. Oh, the square. Does look like we have some infantry charging in here. Bernadotte's going in. What? What's Bernadotte doing?
Our men are running, sir.
And this fight's so scattered still. This is just super scattered. Coalition seemed to be holding just well. I mean, they were surrounded. They managed to get themselves out of that quite beautifully. Now, they did take some losses here. Probably wondering where all of this French infantry came from. There is only 12 minutes and 59 seconds, or 12 minutes basically, left in this replay. I don't know if... I mean, it says it's a deathmatch victory for one side or the other, so something big has to happen in the next 12 minutes, and I can't see that actually happening. I mean, France is locked in some combat over here, but they're still kind of spread a little thin and looking a little weak on this side. Over here, Russia is holding their lines. They've taken some heavier losses so far. More and more troops from Majuro trickling in. We'll see. No, there's not a lot of French left, so I don't see how this could be a deathmatch victory. LOC-wise, though, I mean, there's only 11 minutes left here, and I do believe most of the LOCs are held by the Imperials, except for Stockach. Maybe Murad's gonna make something. There is some French infantry in the back lines here. This Russian line is slowly but surely wilting away under the concentrated fire of the French. Oh, we have a general killed. Bernadotte, I do believe, finally has been killed. And now a lot of his armies left. LOC has been taken. Alright, so it's definitely starting to become the LOC race. They have a 2.456.7. I do believe they're going for this 2-pointer over here. Oh, another 1 point over there. And then they're going over for this 2-pointer, it looks like over here as well. At least he has some Volunteers over there to take it. The Imperials can win by LOC victory here. Definitely, without a doubt, that can happen. Man, this coalition is just getting brutalized by line infantry, just pummeling them. Oh, Mirah! Wow. He breaks. There's no resistance on this side. It is just over here where Juro and Lanz making their final push here, and they are breaking the Russian line quite badly. This is turning quite bad for Russia. Looks like we also have some Grenadiers going to be fighting for this LOC. Now they're going to be taking on, looks like, light infantry, so I don't think there should be a problem. They'll take this, and that's another LOC to add to their collection. Artillery.
Buildings up.
Ooh. There's that other LOC way over here. So, you know, LOC-wise, I think they're good. Another Russian general's killed. It's kind of weird. It's like some of these units are just not moving. Not sure if that's how it's supposed to, like, I'm not sure if people just forgot about units in the house or like in the field. But these cavalry could be used really effectively over here just to charge in. Looks like they just beat back this Russian force. I'm going to hit the fast forward button here. So we don't want this to drag on forever. I mean, looks like there is another LOC being fought for over here. Where's Russia going? Oh, they're going to this LOC over here, aren't they?
Our men are running, sir.
Still, they took another one, and they took another one. So, yeah, they have plenty of LOCs, and this is definitely going to run its course before, you know, the battle actually ends. So, you know, I don't know why it says deathmatch victory. I'm assuming that's what DM means. But this is going to be an LOC victory. Unless the course of everything's
The men
changed.
are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Unless something changes, I'm just going to skip ahead so we can see the results here of this battle. Alright guys, so a victory for the Imperials as the RC. And you can see here, we have the results pulled up here. Quite bloody and fierce, especially for this Imperial side. So you have Al. He got 1163 for the kills. Bring Back Militia with 1468. Matt Bob, 1258. And TT Ross with 1302. Other side, you have $sign as the Saxony with 335 for the kills. Casual, 1029. Argents with 724. And Lotus with 698. Definitely a victory for the French. I did enjoy that countercharge that the Russians made. That really set the momentum. And honestly, it did look like the Russians had most of the field. They had a lot of troops left. They had been able to consolidate and fight. But obviously, they got outwitted with the LOCs, and that caused it to be a victory for the Imperials. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for me today. Thank you all so much for joining me. And like I said, me trying to get back to this. Things are kind of calming down now, so hopefully I'll have a couple more replays for you guys in the next couple days. So stay tuned. Thank you all so much for your support on the channel. It does mean a lot to me. Yeah. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and as always, I will catch you all in another video.